Well, at a time when the luxury car segment is literally booming in India, we are here at the Audi India launch of the RSQ8, and I'm joined by the head of Audi India, Mr. Balbir Dhillon. Mr. Dhillon, thank you so much for speaking to business today.
Pleasure.
First of all, I'd like to talk about the elephant in the room, about the setbacks that we received last year of the supply chain management issues. What were they, and how did they held you back eventually, and led to a number of low performance in the last year, sir?
Well, let me put it in this way that we had a challenging year, primarily because the first 2 quarters of last year, we look at the calendar year. So January to June, there were not enough cars for us to sell. Like I said, supply chain issues, which led us degrow last year. But I think that is all history now. We picked up the momentum and we did a fantastic job in last quarter of last year. And then momentum continues. We expect the industry to continue to grow this year. Last year, the industry was 51,000 car, highest ever. And this year, we anticipate the luxury car to grow at 10%. That means we will also reach about 55,000 cars this year. And we are also anticipating that we will also grow in the similar range what the industry will grow this year.
I'd like to talk about a very nice number that I saw when I was reading through your numbers. We saw the decline in sales when the setback happened, and the last quarter of the year eventually saw a growth of 36%. So that means that the luxury car segment is of course on the rise, but the confidence in brand Audi is also maintaining its stability even though it had its own issues.
Well, let me give you a little wider picture here, because normally what happens is every time success is seen only with the numbers. But you have to see from a customer's point of view. When a customer's or you or me, whenever we go and buy any product, most of the time our thought is that, am I buying the right product? And what are the kind of services that I will get from the product? So I think from that point of view, our customer centricity scores are highest ever. Every fourth car that we sell in India is being sold to our existing customer. So from that point of view, I think we are very clear that whatever we do is always the focus is our existing customers. So we continue to reinvest back into our existing customers. Supply chain issues come and go. That is part of life. So we have picked up a big pace last quarter last year, and it continues this quarter as well. And I'm hoping that we will continue to flourish. As the base widens for the industry, we'll also widen our base, and that is what our endeavor is. But number is only the outcome. Our primary focus is sustainable business for our dealer partners, sustainable business for ourselves, and the best possible services that we provide to our customers. That is what our motto.
Right. Well, you mentioned about 51,000 cars being sold last year. Where was Audi here, and what market percentage were you capturing, and now what are you anticipating for 2025?
So like I said, out of 51,000, we sold about approximately 5,800. So you can find out the percentage. So that is what it was last year. So if the industry grows and if we grow on the same lines, I think more or less the percentage remains the same.
All right. Now, when I come to the EV, sir, where are we? And there have been a lot of talks and conversations about government giving various SOPs under the PLI and the FAME scheme. Are you actively looking to participate in the near future? And where are we at manufacturing EVs in India?
Well, I think firstly I will start to where we are. So I think last year our penetration on the EVs was about 2.5%, 3%, which is not very high. But I always believe that we are in a marathon, not in a sprint. We still are only selling cars in the range of 1.2 crores and above. Once we have more cars in different segments, obviously the penetration will go up. Coming back to local assembly of these cars, I think the EV policy is still in a draft stage. We still haven't seen the policy. Once we have the final policy, then we'll be able to decide. But the way we are projecting ourselves globally, that eventually we'll become an electric car company. At some point in time, these cars will come to India. And the work is on. We are doing our bit of the back-end work that we have to do. Once we have the policy, the clarity comes, and then we will be able to decide when.
Well, when I compare to your peers in the luxury car segment, both the brands are actually launching products and having a product offense strategy in India. Now do we see things getting up for Audi in India? And with these setbacks, did you have your own set of learnings about the Indian market, or the continued policy for Audi will continue from here on as well?
Well, I wish all the best to my competitors. That's all I can say on them. Every brand has a different strategy. Like I said, for us, it is very important that our customers remain our biggest focus. They are the happiest lot in our whole ecosystem. Our network is profitable. we are profitable and we are doing a sustainable business, keeping customer centricity in mind. The number is only an outcome of what we do. Market share is an outcome. We don't chase numbers. We're not following market share. For us, most important is our customers, and that's all we follow.
Any comment on the policy support front for the luxury vehicles? We see a 28% GST on luxury cars, and of course the government is trying to facilitate the movement of EV and luxury cars as well. Considering we are seeing an outburst of top-end vehicles being sold in India, and you are one of the most top-end players in India. The rise of HNIs in India is also contributing to the factor of luxury cars. How bullish are you on these HNI segment buying luxury cars, and of course the luxury car segment as well?
So, I think from a luxury car point of view, when we focus and see how will it evolve in next coming years, there are three factors that are very important. One is the customer base growing, which of course is growing. We are anticipating that from about 80,000 HNIs, it should reach 1,65,000 by 2027. So that means that is growing. So that is one side, which is primarily coming from India's demographic, India's growth story, etc. The second is, are we having sufficient luxury cars in the space in India? Answer is yes. The third is the cost of ownership. Like you said, 28% GST, which is probably one of the highest GSTs in our GST system. But you also have to remember that there is 20 to 22% cess on top of this. So effective GST plus cess for us is 48 to 50%. All our customers are very well traveled, so they know what these cars cost outside. And of course, I anticipate that once it gets rationalized at some point in time, we will also, as an industry, grow. Right now, the luxury space is just about 1.2% approximately of the overall segment. I think by 2030, if everything remains same, we should be close to 2%. But ideally, at some point in time, we should reach about 5%. This is where the industry will really flourish, because the industry will have a good size. So that is what something there in the future. We are optimistic, medium to long term. We continue to push as much as we can from our side to bring more products, best services for our customers. Rest is an external, let's say, dependency, which we hope only that will improve going forward.
Also, lastly, when I ask you about the second-hand car sales, it grew by 32%, but from 2023 we see it having a degrowth from 62% to 32%. Are you bullish about the second-hand market in luxury space as well, and what are your plans to revive for Audi?
Well, you're seeing from the point of view of percentage growth, but you have to keep in mind as the base becomes bigger, the percentage growth will not remain the same. The positive side for me is that we have been working on this pillar for last 5 years. Last year, whatever number of new car sales we did, our pre-owned car sales in terms of number was close to 75% of that. So we've already reached a very good level, threshold level in pre-owned cars business. In 2020, we had 7 showrooms. Today, we have 26. So we have grown and we have done quite well. Our dealers this is a large part of their business today. And I'm sure that this will continue to grow further.
And last question, any comment on fuel luxury cars that are probably popping up in India? Do you see any future there, and your outlook for 2025?
Well, in terms of luxury segment, like I already mentioned, we expect it to grow between 8 to 10%. In terms of fuel, I think from 1st of April this year, we already have E20 coming to the picture, which everybody is to comply, and so will be.
And do you think the performance of luxury vehicles, from a common man's perspective, will the performance of a luxury vehicle improve, or it will decelerate when the E20 fuel comes into the picture? Any research that shows?
I don't think so. I think this is purely a regulatory point where the government is adding, let's say, 20% ethanol to reduce the dependency on oil imports. But in terms of fuel economies, etc., I think by and large we'll be in the same territory. So that should not impact the sales from my point of view.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Dhillon, for speaking to us. Candid as always, that was Balbir Dhillon talking about the growth of Audi in India, and of course running a marathon and not a sprint. We're capital person Rajesh in Mumbai. This is Chetan Mutani for Business Today Television.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.